Welcome to a new deck request video. Requested by ShockGaming11, we are using Young Zing. Let's do this. Going first, give me my Jiao-2 and 2 other Yang Zings. I suppose that works. God, not Sylvans. I don't know what they do, I need to read too much. Trap card open! Let's just take it out right now. No way, I should have waited. He could have used it during frigging life, during his end phase. And he could have also taken out a possible trap that he'll place. And the fact that he placed something on top doesn't really get in my way yet. It's the effect that activates during my end phase. That move. Which might actually be a good thing for them, because now they can use its effects. I should have used it like during the end phase. Stops complete excavation! Yeah! And can't be destroyed by battle. Yep. Beyond, go. Getting some damage in. I was almost synchro summoning before that. Anten Shokan. Shivan. Level Sanno. Bian. Level H no Chia no tuning. Synchro Shokan. My little thing that makes your excavating very difficult. The combos from a battle. Herald of Arclight. Turn end. Level 5 Synchro. Hand or main deck to Graves banished. Nothing field. I can't activate cards or effects. I don't activate it though, it's continuous effect that makes me not be disturbed by battle. So I'm fine. It doesn't negate my effects. Question is, how do I beat that thing? Because I can just sit on this for a while, but that's it. So Fracture's not going to be sent to the grave, I can't activate you. I want to set Pixie so I can use its and Chiwen's effect. Problem is Armades. Thing is, I want to normal summon something just to Torrential. I think I'll wait with that until I get like Jiaotu, then just summon Torrential the field away. That's the plan right now, because they can't activate. The thing is, I want to keep Herald on the field for a long time because it just stops a lot of the major Sylvan plays. But then, while I have a monster on the field, I need to somehow make a way to beat Armades. Which is going to be difficult without Jiaotu. Thing is, even if I take out Herald, I could summon another one later, or Baxia. Baxia can summon Herald back, although it won't be indestructible at the time, like when I summon it that way, but I'll have it back, so until it's destroyed, I'm once again in the way of their excavating and their effects. The excavation doesn't necessarily stop, but the effects that activate would activate afterwards. I kinda want them to summon something. Torrential won't help. I have to use Herald to stop it. Deco Monster is activated if I have to. Although I could just let it be destroyed as well. And then during their turn, I need to wait for a summon to use Torrential. Just to get rid of their stuff. Should be this card. Because I don't need the ritual monster or the ritual spell because I use neither. Okay, they can use their excavations again. Thing is, I have Torrential for him. Hello. Hello. You still here? Hello? Okay. You continue. Oh wait, that's... Oh, this would hurt if they don't summon. If he gets a Mashuma. I'll allow it, because they can probably summon something. Cards to the bottom of the deck, accept the plans. This thing destroys a monster. Summon plan from hand. And if I can traps for the turn, no! No, Rose Lover, no. I suppose I can see. This seems like the perfect moment. Get out of my face. I'm surprised they didn't... Oh, they can't change Sylvan Princess, I don't think. They exit from deck and sent to the Giga Bay. Blow Ball they can't use to get back Spore. They can't use it anymore. They still have Rose Lover to supposed to summon something from the hand though. So if they have something big there, like Hermitry, that could hurt. Come on, Jiao-Tu. Creation is so good. Destroy Battle or big card effect. Doesn't say needs to go to grave, which is good. Because this thing does say that. Oh, that's only its own effect. And send the grave, yeah, still. Only this thing has attack power. Attack. Kado setto. Ta endo. I wouldn't mind having Chiwen, because he can make me go into some pretty fancy stuff. Reading more things. Ah, man, the typos, wow. Those first time to connect with some credit active plan simply great, but that's the bottom of the deck. The rest doesn't matter. Okay. Okay. None of the plans, so I don't really mind. I just hope they don't draw into something good either. They normal summon it just to get their effect, because they need their effects right now, or to draw into something big for Rose Lover, which right now they don't have. I could chew one with this thing, but that doesn't really help me anyway. So I think we'll just set Bixie, so that maybe next turn... Horus? Oh, wait! Are they affected by traps, Horus, and I can take one of their monsters? Ooh. If that works out. That could be very good. And have Solemn Warning to stop something there on their end. Which would be Rose Lover. Probably I'll use Rose Lover. I'll use Solemn Warning to stop Rose Lover. Just set something, because I'm pretty sure Horus can hit something that's face down. So. I'll use it in that instead. typos. Some like typing quickly helps, but the typos I make sometimes, not really. Rummaging the grave. Kloa bulb. They might just have to summon it, just for defense. Spore's already out. I don't know what they have in their hands, so maybe they can't even use Rose Lover. Okay. Because I could just take their bulb. This is not an activation. So they can't. This is not an excavation, an activation. Excavation. That can't activate as glow up bulb does not excavate. Wait. It just sends it to the graveyard. It doesn't excavate. If it's excavated from the deck and sent to the graveyard by card effect. The lower bulb may have been a tech, but you might have misread it. Or misunderstood. Ouch. Reading. And if you do special summon it, so that's simultaneous, works. Once turn, you can excavate the top card of your deck as a phantom monster. Okay. Ouch! If you would have just, he had Sage Koya, so he probably wanted to do something. He's not using the effect. Okay, I'm not complaining. Level 8. Huh. Okay. Young Zing creation. Oof. I'll just offer this other. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend can't still attack. I can get any Young Zing. I need to set up. For something. I need an 8. I'll have 7. Wait, I get the second 2 and I'm fine. Hopefully, like if he keeps it alive at least. No, he's gonna destroy something, and then this summons one in attack position. Doesn't say anything about the stats. So I'll just play Suwani. Just to have something. Which I don't really feel like I want right now. So they can destroy what they want, preferably Suwani. Makeshift Chinchuan from grave. First summon if you do, banish it when it leaves the field. Can you control more than one Chuan? Yeah, you can just use one of those effects. You get me a Yang Zing in attack position. And what I want is the level 6. This guy. Zephraniu. Secret of the Yang Zing. Suwani might actually help at this point with the level with the 500 attack move. Okay. say it has to be. Nope. Dora. Alright. What can I do with my level 5s? Armadi's Chambra. 25, 27 doesn't work. The plan. Chiwen Zifranio makes level 7. I'll take Yazi. Wait. Using monster you control and one card your opponent controls. I can just use Yazi. Use Yazi to hit Hot Rat Dragon Archfiend. Yeah. And then destroy my Swanee, get a new thing, normal summon Chiwen to sync her with them. Huh, I was just thinking summon one of my level 7s, then normal summon the other Chiwen, go into Scarlet Dragon, and then finish him off that way. This actually works better. Synchro Shokan! Yazi, evil of the young Zing. And a good creation as well. So when he has to summon something in defense, which fancy synchro do I want? Is there something I can finish off and I can get in one turn? Fancy major synchro? No, nothing I can finish him off in one turn. So just take an Armadi's in case he has like a Scarecrow, I think. Although, I might not want to. Something that can't be destroyed by battle, no. I want a Swanee. First is the Swanee summon, so something in defense. A Bixie. Then Young Zing creation gives me Swanee. Yeah. But I could have also done instead Bixie summon something of a higher level than normal summon Chiwen and synchro with that, and just attacked with Swanee. Use Chiwen effect once per turn, only once per turn. Yeah, normal Chiwen because I haven't normal summoned yet. Do I want to make a 5 or a 7? I can make a 7. Make another Yazi. Can't be targeted by card effects. Might help. Like they might already know that they're done for, but maybe we'll go Armadi's. Anything level 8 that's safer? No. I'll just go Armadi's. Woof woof. Because I can't finish him off in one hit. Armadi's 28. Chiwen has vanished. Right. First Chiwen is vanished. And you go. Battery. Harold stopped their excavations for as much, well, for a little bit. And then the torrential was really well timed. I was thinking of actually using it on Princess Sprout, but I didn't. And then Global came out, it was like, yeah, now, before they synchro, they might be able to stop it. Alright, that was the video for now. Although, not the video, just the duel, because it's a deck request video, so you know right after this is the deck profile. I will see you in a few seconds. And there we were in the deck profile section of this video. Why did I do the intro that way? I don't know. Anyway, the deck profile for the Zing deck. I should note, before this, like, you'll find it out for some of my card choices, because of some of my card choices. This deck was built pre-adjusted list. So this deck is partially focused on the major force that is / was Pepe. So keep that in mind. 3 Jiaotu. Helpful tuner. I suppose nice 2000 defense, but its effect is really helpful. Especially if you go first. Because if you control no other monsters, so like it'd be a Jiaotu that was attacked and that's now face up, or something you just normal summon, or special summon like via a Zing's effect. No other monsters, you discard 2 Zing cards. They can be monsters, they can also be traps and spells, so Zing Creation, Zing Path. Special summon 2 Zings, one with 0 attack, one with 0 defense. And like half and half, the Zings either have 0 defense or 0 attack. They're banished during the end phase, but generally you'd immediately use them as synchro material together with Darkness. Although you could, if you want to, let's say you summon Suwani and the Bixie, that you could like synchro with Jiaotu and Bixie, make something, and then attack with Suwani. It'll still be banished in the end phase. But yeah, generally, at first turn Jiaotu, you'd get Tauti and Bixie to make level 9 total. Although no. You want a 7. Generally, the first thing you want is 7 total, so you take Bixie and Beyond. Bixie, like a lot of the Zings give the monster that's synchroed with them as materials an extra effect. The tuners don't, like Jiaotu and Chiwen. The other ones do. Bixie makes the synchro monster unaffected by all trap effects, which is very helpful. And then Beyond makes them not be able to be destroyed in battle, which really helps with Herald of Arclight. So first turn Jiaotu, you have 2 other Zings, you summon your Bixie, you summon your Beyond. Then generally you'd go into Yazi, or depending on if you already know what you're facing, maybe it's like a game 2 or 3 of a match. You could also go into Clearwing Synchro Dragon, but this thing can't be targeted by card effects. And if it's a sort of battle or card effect, you do get another Worm monster, which is another of your Zings. Clearwing can help stop stuff in other ways. Wow, there's a lot of time about one card. Anyway, Chiwen, level 1 tuner, same general effect that if it's sort of a battle or card effect, you get a Zing. Unlike the non-tuners, which summon in a specific position, like the high defense ones always summon in attack, the high attack ones always summon in defense. Jiaotu and Chiwen's effects doesn't matter which battle position you summon them in. Chiwen, if it's in the graveyard and one of your Zings on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect sent to the graveyard, Chiwen can special summon itself from the graveyard, but it does banish itself when it leaves the field, and you can only use that effect once per turn. So if you have multiple Chiwens, it doesn't really work out. Suwani is a nice beater to have at 1900 attack, but if you use it as synchro material, the synchro monster that uses Suwani as synchro material gains an additional 500 attack. When I first saw Zing, I thought, oh yeah, 500 attack is supposed to be nice, but it can be very helpful in overcoming certain monsters. Like you can only make like a level 5, like an Armades, because you have a Chiwen and your Suwani, and you want to overcome, let's say, the opponent's Suwani Armades. Then if you use Suwani as synchro material, you're only 28 and you're good. And also, if you use it with Chambara, it can really help with OGKs, as they can attack twice. It's 2200, 2400 on the attack without Suwani. With 1 Suwani, it's only 2527, which is an additional 1000 damage a turn, which can be very nice. Pulau is there. I don't use it a lot. It makes the synchro monster unaffected by spell effects. It's a level 1 non-tuner, which is the only level 1 non-tuner in the deck, like in the entirety of Zings. I did want it, and the fact that it's unaffected by spells can help out in some cases. Bixie, very useful because the synchro monster is unaffected by traps. Beyond, slightly less of a beater than Suwani, and the fact that the monster combination of a battle isn't as useful as Bixie, especially if it's a big synchro that you have. But it could definitely be helpful because Chiwen plus Beyond equals Herald can be very useful in multiple situations, including against Sylvans, as you saw in this duel. One Tauti, I did feel the need to use it. One, because Jiaotu plus Tauti plus Big C does make a level 9 like Trishula. That does help out. You can just summon a Tauti if with like one of your Yang Zings, which then gets rid of the having to tribute summon it. And what you should know, what I actually forgot in the duel, but I didn't really get to use it. Tauti makes you able to synchro summon during the opponent's turn if you have Tauti on the field. So that could really mess up the opponent if they're in the middle of a big play and then you're suddenly, and you have, let's say, a Tauti and a Jiaotu on the field, and you're suddenly like, I want to synchro, and you go into Black Rose and blow up their entire field, and their combo just stops. That is a way to use it. Something interesting, I have one of both of the Zephyra Yang Zing pendulums in there. I won't often really use them as if I have both pendulum skills, then I suppose I could use them for a pendulum summon. But because the rest isn't pendulum monsters, I may be able to really get a good pendulum summon off once, and that'll be it. But might work. Thing about Zefraxi is that if it's special summoned from the main deck, which can be done with the rest of the Yang Zing's effects, I get a nice effect because I can make a non-tuner Yang Zing into a tuner. So if my Chiwen's destroyed and I have a Suwani on the field, I can special summon Zefraxi, like through Chiwen's first effect, make Suwani a tuner, and then synchro those two together to still make level 7 synchro. Then I have a Zephranu, not necessarily very nice to draw into, although then you do have a discard fodder for Jiaotu for Twin Twisters, so in that sense it's not that bad, but preferably you just keep it in the deck. You can just use it as defense. You can use it as a level 6 for a fancy synchro summon, which I did use in this duel, so that definitely worked out. If it's pendulum summoned or destroyed by battle or card effect when in the monster zone, you can add a Yang Zing or Zephyr spell trap from deck to hand. You don't use that often because you're not going to pendulum summon it because you only have one other scale. Destroyed by battle or card effect while in monster zone won't happen often because you first have to play it generally in defense, then it's destroyed. Generally at that point you've already used it for synchro summon. But possibility exists, you could get yourself a Yang Zing Path or a Yang Zing Creation. Spells. Twin Twisters, a very helpful spell card. In this deck I feel better than MST. Like, you can completely stop like pendulums, not just one, you can take two of them out, which makes it harder for the opponent to just play one more skill 3 that they may have in reserve. If you also take out their skill 5, then they may not have replacements for both. And the fact that it can take out 2 traps during the opponent's end phase is also very nice. Yang Zing Path helps quite a lot with draw power. You can quite quickly get your Yang Zing monsters in the grave to shovel some of them back for a possible reuse, like for summons from the deck or just drawing into them. You get more draws, so card advantage wise it's +1, and you get to reuse some of your monsters. Soul Charge is definitely for late game if you just need a big synchro out on the field that has defense that is unaffected by traps or whatever, like a Yazi. And bring a big synchro out generally near the end of the game, but when you do have some life points to still use, because if you want to summon like the low levels, like Bixie plus a tuner, like if you want to make Yazi with Bixie, you need at least 3 months or at least 3,000 life points cost to use Soul Charge, so do watch out with that. Yang Zing Creation, an incredibly useful trap card, because whether Yang Zings can summon something when they're destroyed by battle or card effect, Yang Zing Creation does that once per turn for any of the Yang Zings, and that's your turn, that's the opponent's turn. It doesn't matter. And it can chain together with, let's say, Beyond. Like Beyond's destroyed by battle, you chain Beyond with Yang Zing Creation. And the thing is, you can put multiple Yang Zing Creations on the same chain, because it doesn't say you can only use Yang Zing Creation once per turn. It says once per turn, but that's once per this card. If you have multiple copies, you can still use them, because it doesn't say you can only use Yang Zing Creation once per turn, or activate Yang Zing Creation once per turn. Well, no, activate the effect of Yang Zing Creation once per turn. I should get my things right. It's very exact, Yu-Gi-Oh! You cannot special summon from the extra deck except Synchros. Well, I don't even run Xyzs in this deck, so that's not a problem. An interesting card I have here is the end the band plays on. If they have certain level monster, they can't summon monsters of the same level. If they have certain Xyz, like ranks of Xyz monsters, they can't summon monsters of that same rank. Level 4, seen in a lot of decks. Let's say Teller Knights, they summon their Altair, you chain and the band plays on, they can't summon their Deneb, or their Vega, or their Uno Kalhai, or whatever they want to get from the grave, generally Deneb, it just doesn't work. And if they already have a rank 4 out, and they want to X into another one, it doesn't work either. Thing is, with Pendulum Summons, and the band plays on doesn't necessarily stop that. If they don't have monsters, then you can they can just summon multiple level 4s on the field at the same time, for example, and others if they want to. But if they already have one level 4 in the field, let's say Perform a Pal, Skullcrobat, Joker, and they want to summon like 2 or 3 more level 4s or any other levels that they want to play, it's not going to work because and the band plays on. So in that sense, you can chain it to certain effects. If, like, for example, this Teller Knight Altair, or if they already have, let's say, a Seer Malebranche to the Burning Abyss, and you know they want to summon another Burning Abyss, you can be like this, and they're not going to be able to summon something else. They can't summon a second Dante. There's multiple ways in which this card can be used. So if you have this card active, and you're playing against a deck that Pendulum summons and has a lot of level 4s, you might just want to leave one of them on the field and not destroy them, just so they can't Pendulum summon a bunch on their next turn. Lose one turn is another option, just to negate effects or stop them from attacking for at least one turn, but that also stops, especially your Synchros don't like that, and this doesn't really matter in your case. The only thing that it does stop is if you have it active, and you have your Jiaotu as your only monster, then you can't summon a Bixie because it's the same level. And with Chiwen, like Chiwen and Pull Out doesn't work either. However, that's special summons. So, like if you have a Chiwen on the field, you can't still normal summon Pull Out. Use them both as synchro material for something else. So keep in mind the ways it can stop you. The most important thing is Jiaotu Bixie. Generally, it's really disruptive if the opponent's plays. 2 Solemn Strikes because it just is a very good card. Might just be hit just like Warning eventually. A Solemn Warning. 2 Mistake because Pepe liked the search. Other decks do, but Pepe definitely likes it as well. Anti-Spell Fragments to stop decks that really like to use spells, like Pepe. Just placing Pendulum skills counts as activating a trap. Trap. Activating a spell card. Fragrance doesn't allow that, needs you to set them. You can't set a card in the Pendulum Zone, so as long as Anti-Spell Fragrance is active, they cannot set any Pendulum skills. So if you're playing against Pepe, and you know that, and you're going first, and you draw into Anti-Spell Fragrance, set it as soon as they draw their card for draw phase, flip it over. Sure, they may have MSD or Twin Twister, but if they don't, boom. Good for you. Skill Drain. This deck isn't hurt by it a lot. Some of the Synchros maybe, but any of the Young Zings don't really care, except Jiaotu. Torrential Tribute. Well, no, Bottomless is first because it's bottomless. It's a very good card. Torrential to clear the field, and Torrential can also trigger the Yang Zings' effects and Yang Zing creation. So you can get some bonuses off of blowing up your own monsters as well. Herald of Arclight, not there. Seriously, is the end going down now? Okay, I'll do it from the top of my head. Was it Herald of Arclight? I don't have any ritual monsters or ritual spells, but it's there to be disruptive of some of the opponent's plays, like stuff that from their hand. Was the hand and main deck to grave would be banished instead. So things that discard for costs don't work. Excavate stuff for like the Sylvan's effects, like most of them won't work. You can excavate, but the Sylvans won't activate because they're banished instead of sent to the grave. You can disrupt that. Just a little tiny monster that can really disrupt the opponent's plays, especially against very specific decks. And it generally what you want to make with it is you want to use Chiwen to not make a disruptive battle. So you'd want Beyond, and then use Chiwen as the level 1 tuner to make it level 4. I feel that combo is very useful because generally they don't really want to use spells or traps to take out something that only has 1,000 defense. Generally they want to use battle, but if you then can't take them out with battle, you force them to waste cards like Raigeki on a little tiny monster like that. Like if they play something major that doesn't necessarily destroy Herald, but is something that is really bad for your bad for you, like if they use any monster effect, spell, or trap, you can still tribute Herald to negate and destroy that effect. Well, negate the activation, destroy the card. Do note that at that moment, the sort of the difficulty that Herald gives the opponent is gone. Their stuff isn't banished anymore, so do keep that in mind. Then I have Chambara, like sort of help with OTKs with Swanee, gets some extra power in. Armades, in case you're afraid of certain set monster effects like flip effects or Swift Scarecrow or like Mirror Force, Dimensional Prison, things like that. Armades is helpful for that. I have something Horus, the level 6 synchro. If you synchro it, you might just make it with just your effect mods because it's like 2400 attack and it gets an extra effect. Depending on the non-tuners that you used, like normal monster, effect monster, or pendulum. Effect monster is you can target, I believe, one face up card on the field and negate its effects until the end of the turn, which is just but it can be very useful in certain situations. But if you use a pendulum monster as a non-tuner, so that would be possible with, let's say, you use a Chi one as your tuner, then your water one, Bixie, as a non-tuner, but then also the level 3 pendulum. Forget its name, but the level 3 pendulum. 1500 attack that I have one of in the deck. If you do that, you can have your opponent choose one of your opponent's monsters, and you gain control of it. It can be a face down monster. They can select it, but if they only have one, you just get that one, and you gain control of it. It pretty sure it can't attack that turn, but you can still synchro with it. You can Xyz with it. Not that I have Xyz monsters. You can do other fancy stuff, but you contribute it for whatever. And you keep it, you don't give the monster back either, which is very nice. So if they have something that's really high defense that's just there to block my attacks, or something that's really disruptive of my plays, like a Banisher of the Radiance, I can just send that right back at the opponent. Although no, Banisher affects both those, so that doesn't really apply. Well, there's multiple ways in which stealing a monster is very useful. Like if it's something that has high defense, and then taking it can just mean I can direct attack now, which is already very useful. That's, I'm pretty sure, the only level 6, so that puts me at 5 extra deck. 6 is Black Rose Dragon. Blowing up the field can be useful at times. Clearing Synchro Dragon. Already went over it a little bit at the start of the deck profile. Because it can negate certain effects and then also get an attack boost off of it. Then I have 2 of the level 7 Zing. I forgot what it's called. Maybe that's Bixie. No, it's the level 7 Zing Synchro, the Dark Attribute one that can't be targeted by card effects. 2 of those, because the fact that it can't be targeted by card effects is already a nice synchro to have. If you have a deck that can easily summon level 7 synchros, you do that a lot. You generally like find one of the Yazi, I think it's called. One of those in the deck. And considering you're using Zing, its destruction effect, like destroy one of your Zing monsters and one of the opponent's cards, is very useful. Because one, you get rid of one of your opponent's cards. Sure, you get rid of one of your Zing monsters, but generally that Zing monster can then replace itself with a new Zing. Maybe something even better. And if you have Zing creation or multiple out, you can get even more monsters off of it. So it's only a plus. So that puts me at 9. Then I believe 2, was it Baxia? The level 8 synchro. I don't remember much about. I don't remember its first effect from the top of my head. Pretty sure it's like 2300 attack, 2600 defense. And then its second effect allows you to, I believe, destroy Zing on your field to then summon a level 4 below monster from your graveyard. Would you have an Herald of Arc Light in there? You can summon that back. Sure, it can still be destroyed by battle because it wasn't synchro summoned by Beyond at that point because it was just summoned from the grave. But its first effect can disrupt the opponent's plays in a certain way that gets you the advantage pretty quickly. So that could be very nice. So let's see, 11. Then I have Enlightenment Paladin. Like obviously I don't use any Magician Pendulums, so like that effect doesn't apply. But in some cases I feel that it could be useful, like 2500 attack, pretty good. Destroy monster by battle, deal damage equal to its attack, so it's like an Elemental or Flame Wingman. And I do still feel really nice about Flame Wingman. I really like using that in like Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Duel Academy. I really like using Flame Wingman in like Shining Flower, especially Flame Wingman's effect. It was nice to deal some pretty big damage with just one attack. Then Hot Red Dragon, Archfiend Scarlight. It's nice to be able to destroy multiple special summon monsters at the same time. Deal damage while you do it as well, like 500 per monster, I believe. I'm pretty sure even if you destroy your own monster with that effect, it's still the opponent that only takes the damage, also for your destroyed monsters. So maybe I'd have to read the exact card text. Maybe if the opponent doesn't have any monsters, but you have like 2 special summon effect monsters alongside your Hot Red Dragon, Archfiend Scarlight, you can destroy them to deal 1,000 damage, and if the opponent's at like 1,000 or less, you can still win because of it, which would be very nice. But I have to read the exact card text to know if it's possible. Then I have Bielze of the Diabolic Dragons. You'd make it with Jiaotu. Generally with Bixie to still make it unaffected by traps. That like the traps that do affect it, because not all will. And then with the level 4 of Suwani to give it some extra attack, which is nice. And then finally, Trishula. Trishula, a very helpful synchro, can get rid of a card in the field, and in the hand, and in the grave, especially with things like Burning Abyss, or like Tellarknight, you get rid of the Deneb. You can get rid of an annoying card in the field, a hand card that might be used for a combo later, or even an Exodia piece if you know they're playing Exodia, then like Trishula can be like, poof, gone. So that's Trishula. I believe that makes 15 extra deck as well. The side deck I put a lose one turn, went over why that. I believe there was a third solid notice in there because I was thinking about it. And I had a third card in there. I don't remember what it was. It was another card that I was considering using or did consider before. I don't remember. If I remember, like after I've uploaded this video, I'll put in the description why. Like I was at least trying to use the card or thought about it, or I wanted to say something about it. Unfortunately for the extra deck, we didn't really have a screen, but I remembered all the cards. We went over most of the cards in the video itself, so I hope this is okay for you. I will see you all in the next Yu-Gi-Oh video, which of course will be tomorrow because I do upload Yu-Gi-Oh videos daily. I'm going to work on some more deck requests. This is another one out of the way, which I'm very happy with. The list is getting shorter and shorter. There's still some wait time, but it's getting shorter and shorter. That makes the wait times a lot shorter, which is really what I want. Alright, that was the video for today. I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.